the dancing class, I treat you any good?
No, sir.
No, not at all.
Not at all, sir.
No, Dan, don't worry about it. Just let them do the exercises. You just do what you want.
No, sir. It's not like that, sir.
No, it's not. No, it's not. I have to. Dan's very inspirational, not for the obvious reason. I mean, he doesn't have an arm. Everybody knows that. Yeah. So it's not. It's not the reason. The reason Dan is inspirational is I was in here in the school. Dan walks in the door, introduces himself to me. He said, "Master Wayne, I am ready to change my life. I want to lose weight. I want to get exercise. I want to get in martial arts. I'm ready to start." And when the student's ready, the master appears.
Yes, sir.
And nobody, Parker and Macy can attest to this, nobody has worked harder being in this school, doing what they do, than Mr. Dan. The reason Mr. Dan is an inspiration is not that. The reason Mr. Dan is an inspiration is anybody can change their life if they choose to. That's right. Yes, sir. So I'm real proud of Mr. Dan. He's now fourth disciple. Fifth disciple. This is our roadmap. Wow. So Dan also receives his black top.
Oh,
all
yeah.
right.
Black belt club members don't receive black tops. This signifies that he's ready. He's halfway there. You guys have red uniforms that says you dedicate yourself a long time to those things. You don't need this to say I'm almost there. But if you're not a black belt club member yet, you never know.
Yes, sir.
Then it may change that a little bit.
Yes, sir.
So give Mr. Dan a big round of applause!
Oh, yeah! Oh, yeah, Dan! You rock!
Very good.
Oh, yeah.
Bell Perez! Kind of make a point too, and that is nobody gets to black belt by themselves. And there's a special kind of camaraderie with people that take the journey with you. So you guys are taking the path at the same time. I still remember I could close my eyes and give you faces, names, what they look like, of all the people that traveled my journey with me, got black belt with me, second and third dan. So not only is it important to help the people behind you, which they know, it's also helped the person that stands next to you in class because they're sharing the same journey. And just think about this, when you get black belt, your whole life, there's never going to be anybody else that ever shares that journey with you. You only get to do it one time. That makes those people very special. And in addition to that, I guess you guys are, wait a minute, let's see. I guess you guys are in, oh wait. Jake, come on, Joseph, Jake, how are you? I meant to do this too, these three. That's what
Joseph,
yeah! So all three of you taking the journey together, and all three are the same rank. Now, a third decided brown belt. Give him a big round of applause! Oh, what does this mean they're doing next testing? What's that? Yes, sir.
You didn't give him his folder.
That's because I don't have it.
Oh.
Wait a minute. But thank you for noticing. And again, Benjamin Slade! Now we have our brother-sister duo. And when they started 2 years ago, 3 years ago, Benjamin, what is that tall? And Annika was like knee-high to a grasshopper. What do you feed him at the Slady house? Woolly manna steaks or what? So, rice? Lots of rice? right? That's all right. So,
Right.
not only is sharing the journey special with other people that share it with you, obviously, but when you share it with somebody in your family. See, what you don't know that I know, that is the coolest part of being an instructor. This is where I get to give a commercial for me. This is one of the reasons why I decided to be an instructor. Because I know one day in the future, you guys are going to be in your kitchen Thanksgiving. And you're going to have all your kids and your grandkids will be around, you know, and you're going to be reminiscing about your childhood. And she's going to go, Benjamin, you remember when Master Wayne made me do this? And you go, yeah, Annika. And I remember when he did this to me? And you go, yeah, but remember when he used to make us do this? So see, in a way, I kind of get to live forever. Because I know that long in the future, you guys are going to sit around and talk. Right? Okay? And they're both second decided.
You rock!
Good
Awesome! Yeah!
Oh, yeah.
Yeah!
Yes, for everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Mason Anthony.
Mason!
You know what I like best about Mason is Mason is one of those deep oceans.
Nope.
Parker's smiling and jovial and laughing and carrying on. Mason. It's a deep ocean. So look at Mason. I'm going, is Mason happy? Mason goes to the tournament, okay? Goes to the tournament, beats everybody, right? And I love this. I share this story with Parker, and I can say it, it's my school, so you have to listen to it anyway. We go to the last tournament, and there's all these guys walking around like this, you know, ready to fight like this, you're like this. Here's Mason. You know, and part of the tournament, you're sizing everybody up, right?
Yeah.
Look at this guy. They're looking at Mason. There's Mason. Is it Mason? We do some jumping jacks or something? Get ready? Okay. So the guys getting there like this. Okay, this guy's just standing around. This guy ain't got nothing. This guy is bringing nothing to the table. Boom, he gets hit. Boom, he gets hit. Boom, he gets hit. He wins.
Yeah! Yeah, Mason!
So here's Mason. He wins. First place. He beat everybody. Here's Mason. Thank you. And
Yeah.
now, our first decided.
Oh, yeah. Rock.
What's your next testing tool?
No, sir.
All right.
Give him another round of applause.
Yeah!
Mark Anthony!
All right, Paco!
Brothers again, here we go, brothers. Who joined? Wait, you joined first and then he joined?
He joined first.
You joined first. So then and I've told the story many times, that's okay, I say it again. So he's a student, he's in it, and Parker's watching, and he's kind of interested, so his mom, where's mom?
Mom.
Oh, mom.
Dad's out of town.
Right, so walk in and go, you know, Parker kind of wants us to do, we want it to be Mason's thing, and we don't know if we should put Parker and Mason, because we just want it to be Mason's thing. We don't want this to overshadow that and this. And I'm saying, and my response was, well, you know, if Mason loves his brother, which he does, and he wants the best for him, it's a shared life journey like what we talked about just a couple of minutes ago. So it makes people closer. It's not a detriment. It's not like it's my thing and it can't be your thing. It can be our thing. You know, so when they go to tournaments, they support each other. When they're in class, they support each other. You know, they support each other. They support each other. They support each other. So that, I got the pleasure of watching that relationship like grow over time. And so that just doesn't stop though, because once you see, because you guys are like connected as a hit now. You know what I'm saying? That's wonderful to be able to go through life and have somebody like that. In this school, you essentially test for black belt 3 times, because that is something we don't give away. You just don't get a black belt. First, you test like Mason did, you test to get a poon belt. 95% of what you got to test to be a black belt, you've already performed at that rank. But anybody can have a good day. So then 4 months later, you have to learn some new things. But then we test you again 4 months later, just to make sure it wasn't a fluke. And then if you pass that and get first recommended, now we're going to drive the nail in and make you test the third time for first decided. Because when you get first decided, you don't just sort of know, you know your stuff. So essentially what that means is that you're a poon belt for 4 months. You are there's a pass, if you test and pass, you're a poon belt for 4 months, and then you're first recommended black belt for 4 months, and then you test for first decided belt. That's when you get the black uniform with the gold and all that. That's when you get our stamp of approval. But first recommended black means, of course, that you're ready. We think you're ready. You just don't get first recommended black belt. There's no way. Parker's part of the Black Belt Club, and he's been looking at his belt up there for a long time, right? 2 years. Yeah, look at the belt. One day that's going to be ready. One day I get to have that belt. They can stay up there another 4 months. Or do you want it now?
I think I want it now, sir.
Yeah.
Parker's got it!
Way to go, Parker! Yeah.
You just got it!
Oh, yeah.
Get it, get it.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Yeah, man.
Look at that.
All right. Way to go, Parker. Black belt.
Oh, yeah.
You rock.
Now, see, that's dusty on purpose. Those things are covered with dust, but I don't dare wipe that dust off. And that dust up there, that represents all the hard work that got kicked up in here. So if you're looking at the set, man, that looks dusty. It's supposed to.
Yeah.
And, but that's not the goal, though, is it?
No, sir.
So this is August,
Yes, sir.
right? It's not May.
February.
May, June, I'm sorry, June testing. June testing, he tests for the big kahuna. So let's give him another round of applause!
Good job, Parker. Yeah.
Parker.
All right, say no!
All right, boys.
That is so nervous. Is there any good black belt? Yeah, good or no? Yeah, I'm gonna get I think one more. One was better.
All right, part of when you, obviously was first recommended black belt, test for first decided, but you also have to write an essay. This is a very good essay. And I'm going to read you an excerpt. Make sure I read the right part. Oh. Taekwondo has been a part of my life for a long time. How old are you?
13, 14, sir.
You started when you were 4.
4.
Wow.
10 years, if you didn't do that.
Wow.
But out of all the nerve-wracking things I've done in Taekwondo, testings have been the worst. I never got the butterflies until red black belt testing because the thought of one mess up and a no change threw me off. But I conquered my butterflies and had an awesome testing and passed. My next testing was not so good. I stopped 3 moves in the red black belt form and got a no change, which of course is part of the journey too. So thank you, Family Martial Arts Center, for all the awesome years of blood, sweat, and tears and challenge. Because that rings volumes to me, because in Taekwondo, like almost no other thing that I'm aware of, you get to find out who you are. You know, you're born, you live your life, and then one day you go up to the cloud in the sky, But in between the born and the cloud in the sky, your mission is find out who you are. What makes up Ben Lowe? What is Ben Lowe all about? What can Ben Lowe do? 10 years. You think about that. 10 years. So for 10 years, he's been coming to the school, he's been working out, he's been working towards his goal of black belt. There's all kinds of obstacles. And everybody in this room that's over the age of 15 knows what I'm talking about. Is that the only way I know to get self-esteem, this is the only way to get it. You set a really hard goal and you accomplish it. That's it. A really hard goal. Easy goal? No. I mean, there's easy goals along the way. Set a really hard goal and accomplish it. And if you set a hard enough goal, you're going to get obstacle after obstacle after obstacle after obstacle. So, who's Ben Lowe? Is Ben Lowe the kind of person that runs into a wall and says, okay, that's it, I give up, I'm done? Or do I go over it, around it, under it, through it, and then I get to the next wall and do the same thing, then the same thing, the same thing, the same thing. And it's a scary journey. I've been out on that floor too. Nerve-wracking out there on that floor, isn't it? I feel like your feet are on fire. Because there's nowhere to go, it's just you. And how many people have the tenacity and fortitude to accomplish a goal like that and do it in childhood? So Benny's leaving childhood now and becoming a young man. And what better way to enter adulthood than to know the kind of person that you are already. And that's a person of tenacity and fortitude. And with tenacity and fortitude, you can fly to the moon, you can run a marathon, you can do basically anything you want to do. So, but if you mess up, if there's part of it that wasn't up to par, you get a no change.
Yes,
I would
sir.
give that to you, wouldn't
No, sir. But you give me the
I
no
would give you a no
yes.
change. I would give that to you, wouldn't it?
It wouldn't come easy though, sir.
I know, it's not supposed to come easy. That's the whole point. But you know that if you ever achieve that, it's not because I like you, which I do, but that's not even relevant. You only get it if you earn it. That's just the way it is. It's the way it should be, right?
Yes, sir.
It's the only way it means it. So I'm very happy for Mr. Lowe. He's now a first decided black belt!
Oh yeah!
Mr. Lowe does not receive a certificate or his belt today because in the April testing, Mr. Lowe will come back and he will receive his new embroidered belt, uniform, real fancy certificate, all that other stuff. The reason we do it that way is so he inspires the other students in that testing that people actually really do dedicate sometimes lots of years to accomplishing a worthy goal. In the meantime, he gets this on his belt that signifies his first decided black belt, and of course will be treated as such. But that's when he gets his big bag of goodies. Could be a long 2 months.
Yes, sir.
Give him some more energy!
Oh yeah!
All right.
All right!
Okay, which now brings us to our trophy presentation of these. Now now there's some exceptions to this, but basically what we do is we award the trophy based on testing score. We award the attendance award based on attendance. So in other words, we add up the sparring scores, we add all the sparring scores up, we divide it by X amount of number, whoever has the highest score wins. So it doesn't have anything to do even with rank, because I've given out all these awards to every belt, including white. It's whoever receives the highest average score. A couple exceptions to that. Since the after-school students, particularly the full-time ones, have to be here, gotta be here, then we don't base it on attendance. What we do is we base it on their attitude and their involvement in class. Are they helping other people, stuff like that. There's an attitude award, and we base that strictly on attitude. I mean, just who has the best attitude, most enthusiasm at testing. GPA, which is a new award, and this was a close one, boy. That's GPA. They turn in their report card. Whoever had the highest GPA wins. Let's see. Is there another exception award? Most improved. This is also a new award given to the person that had the largest improvement in the last 4 months, the testing time frame of 4 months, but it could be longer. But whoever had the most improvement in a testing time frame of 4 months, where they are now, where they are 4 months ago. And I'm going to give these out in no particular order. Most improved student goes to Sean Pyle!
Good job, Sean.
Sorry. Give the right cheer, go!
You rock!
Yeah. Good job.
Good job!
Good job, Sean.
Hold on. Absolutely. I had other awards I forgot to put up. That's Gee. There we go. All right, here we go. We're ready to go. GPA, grade point average. Who had the highest grade point average? And second place. This is second place. And normally I don't give out a second place, but this is so outstanding I simply have to recognize it. Second place, GPA of 96 goes to William Dillinger.
All right, William. Yeah. Awesome job.
Oh yeah!
You rock.
So William, share with us. Now, how does it feel to be super smart, extremely good looking, and a great martial artist? Pretty good.
Oh yeah!
And with a GPA of 96.3.
Whoa.
Joseph!
Good job, Joe.
Yeah, you rock! You rock!
How does it feel to be extremely smart, extraordinarily good looking, a great martial artist, and have the world's best instructor?
Awesome.
There you go.
Yeah!
Good job.
Okay, outstanding after school student. Oh man, this was boy, this is a hard one. But I had to base it on this. It was tough. This is just tough. So that's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to say anything else. James Hammer!
All right, James.
Good job!
Give him a cheer!
You rock!
Give us
All
a
right.
Yeah!
Good job, James.
That's not yet. Yet. That's not it. That's not it. Figure it out in the right order. When I do this, I get it out in the wrong order. Double checking, that's all. Double checking. Okay, next is outstanding attendance. Whoever attends the most classes wins. And that's Parker Anthony. Give him more cheer.
You rock!
Give some more energy. Now I'm going to give this medal out. One of these trophies got broke in transit, so I'm going to replace it. Don't worry, I'm going to replace it. So what I'm going to do is give this individual a medal now, which they get to keep. They don't get this back. And then when the trophy comes in, I'll give them the trophy. But they are going to get the trophy. I apologize. It's just one of those things that happen. It's outstanding attitude or enthusiasm. Whoever had the best attitude, the most enthusiasm attested. And it's going to Floridaa!
Good job.
Get the right chair.
You rock!
And get some more energy.
Yeah. Good job, Corey.
Okay, let's see. All right, the ones I've got left are board breaking, one steps, sparring, form, and overall score. And in no particular order, because it doesn't matter, they're all going to Parkland today!
Oh, yeah, Parker! All right! Good job! You rock!
Awesome.
Yeah! Good job!
So, Parker, you had a good day on testing.
Yeah.
Average.
Yeah. All right. And I would like, Margot, if those of you that received a medal or a trophy, I'd just like you to take their individual pictures, okay? In the background so we can put them on our Facebook page. And before you guys leave, this is really my favorite part of the belt ceremony, and that is to thank you guys because, and I've told this story many times at the belt ceremony, and I never get tired of telling it because it brings me such joy. When I was a freshman in high school, we had to go to we had a school counselor assigned to us, and we had to discuss our life goals and all this other stuff. So I go in and I sit down across from 14 years old. And the school counselor looks at me and he goes, well, what do you want to do with your life? What are your aspirations? I said, I want to be a martial arts instructor and own my own school. And he looks at me and he goes, well, you better get an education because that's probably not going to work out. So every time I see you guys, I get to go back to that spot in history, back in my brain, and look at him and go, yeah! So, you guys give me so much more than I give you. I'm so happy to be your instructor and so blessed to be in this place.
Yeah.
And I want to thank you very much for letting me do this.
Yeah.
You rock!
Okay, let's face this direction. Mr. Love, bounce out. Face Mr. Love. You guys turn around and face your parents. Turn in!
Yeah.
Follow up!